Alright, so today I'm going to talk to you guys about grinding. Okay, this is going to be one of the most important steps of the stained glass making process because, as you can see on this piece that I cut yesterday for you guys, one, the pieces are extremely sharp. Don't touch them. Don't do what I say, not as I do. But, and also, this is not what I need it to be to the white line. But I'm not going to risk cutting it anymore because if it breaks wrong, I ruin the piece, I have to recut it, and I lose a lot of glass. And glass is very expensive. You'll find that out really quick doing this. So I'm going to grind this. Now, something you know about grinders, I think this was about $100. I got it on Amazon.com or from Hobby Lobby, I'm not sure which. But this model is available at Hobby Lobby, except everything I use here, pretty much you can get at Hobby Lobby. I don't work for them or anything, just, you know, cheap plug. I love them. So anyway, now the thing you're going to want to know about your thing is this is your grinding piece. It's your grinder head. And this is going to be where all of the glass gets caught in. Like little glass shards. And you want to make sure that you keep water in this because if not, it's just going to break the glass when the grinder works on it. And you want to go through occasionally and clean it out because if it gets too much, it's going to clog the grinder head up and the grinder head's not going to turn. And then you're not going to be able to grind any pieces. And you know what? Then you're not going to be able to make stained glass. So, you're going to go through, especially around the grinder, make sure that you get it nice and clean. Make sure there's always plenty of water in it too. You know, if it's to the grinder, that's fine. You really can't add too much. I mean, don't overflow it, obviously, but and make sure the grinder's clean too when you're doing this because if not, you're going to leave a residue and then your grinder's not going to work very well. So, then you're going to want to put on this little thing, and this is what keeps you from the water. And also what catches the glass and what you can lay the glass on. As you can see, it gets pretty dirty really easily. And you want to try to keep this as clean as possible too because it's going to obstruct the glass if you don't. So, go through here, clean it. I just used one of my mom's old icing things. I don't think I told her I was using it, so sorry, Mom. But, hey, whatever. She doesn't know. She's 2 hours away, so. Just going to clean it. And make sure that the sponge here is wet too, so it's going to keep the grinder head wet as well. And again, you need that wet or it's going to break the glass and break your grinder head. And nobody wants that. Now, something you're going to need to know about grinding, it gets glass everywhere. So, safety first. Always wear shoes in your studio. Always. If you're not wearing shoes, you're going to step on glass, your foot's going to bleed, I don't want to hear you crying about it. Secondly, it's going to get something everywhere. So what I use is this tri-fold display board, available at Walmart. Like 96 cents, one of the best investments I made. And you can see here where the glass is kind of sprayed onto it. And this keeps the glass from going all over the room and kind of keeps it in this contained area. Third, you're going to want to use other safety precautions. Goggles, not glasses. Because it's going to fly up at your face. You're going to want goggles and gloves. Now, especially whenever, some people only use gloves until the sharp edges are dull. I use gloves the entire time because it will rub your thumb raw when you're grinding, even if you've dulled this down. So always wear these. These are really cheap gardener gloves. You can get them at Lowe's. You can get them at Walmart. They're not very expensive at all. One of the best investments you ever made, and you still have a ton of flexibility in your hands. So, like I said, goggles. And pull your hair up too, because if you have long hair, girls and guys, because if not, it's going to get caught in that grinder head. That's not a pleasant feeling. So make sure you pull your hair up out of your face. Alright. So, you're just going to flip it on. It's unplugged. So I'm going to reach over here and flip it on. There we go. Make sure the grinder head's nice and clean by pushing the sponge against it. You're just going to take this piece. As you can see, it's a pretty slow, tedious process. So, just take your time with it. Don't get rushed. Don't get crazy. It's going to take a while, especially if you have a piece that's shaped like this. You just have to accept that, guys. But you want to get it down as close as you can to the piece. And then once you get it done, you're going to put all your pieces together. I use a cork board. As you can see over here, I don't have any glass on it right now because I'm not far enough along in any of my projects. But what you're going to do is you're going to put all of them up. And that picture I told you to take earlier in the first step, you're going to use that to verify where you want your pieces. Now, see, I have what piece it is. It's the red piece. And whenever I get done grinding it and I take this paper off, I'm going to write that in Sharpie to make sure I know what piece it is. So you can see in these pieces over here, I've written which pieces they all are. So, I'm going to use all these. I'm going to put them all on the cork board. We're going to see how they fit. So, next step coming up.